Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with episode 19 of Minecraft New Adventures. And we're on day 90. I'm kind of surprised. It's like, because I was checking to see what episode's on before like starting, and it's like, wait, we're on day 90? That means we're almost to 100. And I will get all into that into a second, but first, I know I said probably would stream Overwatch, quickly briefing it now. I decided in the end that I wasn't going to. And quite simply, it's just, I decided that I've been streaming constantly for like the last 3-4 months. And I've basically been streaming every night, and it's like, I'm going to take a couple of days. Originally, it was just going to be a case of just going to take Saturday because things came up. Then, when it came to last night, I was like, you know what, I will stream Overwatch. And when it came to it, it's like, you know what, now I am just going to take the break because I think I need it. And quite frankly, I kind of did. And the kind of is a case of it was nice, refreshing to like not instantly be in a case of you must find something for content. Because this week going forward, at least for a while, Spider-Man PS2 will be going to twice a week instead of like 4 times a week. Which only, it does mean less content, but it also does mean more refreshing content. See guys, when a lot of people do put into consideration when the fact of they're scaling back content, they do put into consideration a case of, okay, this gives more time for prepare for content. And with the fact of New Adventures, iCell's only keeping record of the first 100 days and then just noting anything else that happens after that. I will then be able to do more interesting things with New Adventure. Like, one of the first things I do want to do, which I think is going to not be a pain in the ass, but I do think it's overdone, is make an iron farm. There are villagers here and it won't be too hard. I'm just going to have to go mining to get a good few resources. Because I need things like beds, lecterns. So I will need sheep. Which I might. I was going to work on the house. I'm going to see if I... I'm going to see if I've got any wheat, but it's like... oh, where did the other one go? It's like, oh, it was planted. But yeah, I am going to go see if I can see some sheep. Because it's going to require 20 reds, 20 villagers. And quite frankly, it's going to require a few other resources. I'm also potentially going to go back into the nether. But what I will be doing will be like next week, because Thursday will be day 100. So I doubt I'll do anything over the case of, because Friday will not round, and basically what I plan to do is spend say about 3-4 hours. I'm gonna try and stick it to essentially 5 days, so which takes about an hour and a half without sleeping. So that would be 3 hours. It'll either be an hour and a half, 3 hours, or 4.5 hours. But I'm going to basically spend that long making the iron farm, going mining. Plus, I typically, like, what I've done and made them a few times, and made them work a few times, I also do need to then go and be like, right, okay, I then need to find a spot that is, like, I think 250 blocks away from any villagers. Because on my world that you've probably seen on title screen more than once, called 2.0, I built one that was like 100 blocks away. And that, I was like, why the hell is it not working? Turns out, yeah, they do need to be, I'd say 250, I think it's like 150 blocks away. But yeah, I think it's like 150 blocks. They need to be away from any village. But then I also do want it relatively close. Also, at some point, I might make a gold farm. It'd be the first time properly making one because they involve nether portals, and the reason I typically don't make farms with nether portals, like if I do, it's gonna have to be like 1,000 blocks away from that one, or if I take that one down, those then become the new nether portals. So yeah, guys, there are a few projects I do want to do. I also will be at some point trying to locate an end portal because I have looked up. I will look up a video to do it, but like I've looked up, I've used spectator mode on a copy of the world, but I can't see no end portal in this world for at least 10,000 blocks north, south, east, and west. Because I've travelled 10,000 blocks on a copy of the world that far. And literal proof it is a copy. That was on like day 60. Actually saying that, I think it's like day 65. So yeah, so it was like copied like 30 days ago. But yeah, for this stream and potentially, and probably the next stream, I'm just, for the most part, going to be going to get like things that I'm going to need for, say, future builds. So for instance, I'm going to need beds for a future build. The only problem with this is how the hell... But yeah, like, I know like they look crammed as anything, and they are. But like, future build-wise, what will happen is, I probably could just do it next stream, and I probably will. Then I could probably do it now. Is like, literally just mark out several areas. But for chicken coops, why it is probably mean to take them away from grass, I like to do hoppers underneath. I've started doing it since before Bedrock, because I've got them on Quest. Because of the fact of since Bedrock, chickens now function, I think, the exact same way they do on Java, where they drop eggs whether they run the world or not. It used to be on Java, it used to be on normal version of the game was they wouldn't, you'd have to be on the thing to drop them. Which means you could be around the area. But guys, on Bedrock, you could make a small, say 5x5 area, put say 3-4 hoppers in, like put a few hoppers in there, and you would easy enough get a full double chest store filled in about a day. I'm not 100% sure on those calculations, but they don't take long to fill. Like, they really don't. I also do need to figure out what I want to do with my roof, because part of me is just saying, just be normal, do a normal roof. Just do something like that. Keep with the trend. But part of me's like, I really want to jump back off my roof. So, I kind of know what I'm going to do. saying that, I'd already came up with a plan. I just can't remember what. Game, serious. Technically done me a favor. I don't know why, but cobblestone slabs don't break. At least they never used to. It's 8, isn't it? Okay, I did not know the chest was going to drop. We also did get a smith and trim last stream. This is literally just a bunch of random junk at the minute. But I can tell you now, why it won't be an automated farm. Mainly because I've tried in the past and it's like, nope, I give up. Like, I do kind of give up when it's, like, way too easy. But at the same point, I'd rather have something that's not necessarily automated, but I still know where everything is. What I'm presuming probably happened was they it'd be the easiest thing because it's like 3. One, 2. Never mind, it's just 2. I'm about to say, why have I got one piece of inventory that can't be... That's not good. It's like, oh, that's rotten. That's why. So, yeah. Ooh, no, I need Tormar. So, yeah, so in this stream, we're basically just going to be going and getting, like, resources. And I say resources, in more of a case of I'm going to try and also finish the roof. Now, I will acknowledge this is probably one of the worst berry farms. But when I do make it, I potentially won't make a bigger one. Just because at the end of the day, it does what it needs to. It gives me berries, but by the time, by the time that I come to essentially making farms, which won't be long, I will be, making things like half a mile wheat farms and all that lot. And I don't mean, half a mile, it will literally be, 10 blocks, 10, 15 blocks, each. And there'll be, 3, 4 rows. See? Spider, I'm not leaving you in here. But yeah, guys, I am going to go mining. Off stream, because why do I, I come into the high speed and I need to get to the roof, and I will be able to eventually get to the roof from the height, but it's hold on, wait, I can't in a minute. And guys, basically it's just because one thing I do miss about Quest is the way I used to is the way I used to do videos, and that was by jumping into the pool behind the house, and I miss that. Because it was fun. But, something I used to do on Ark was, where possible, was, my first essential house on Ark, which has changed a good bit, was, the first map I ever played on Ark, no surprise, was the island, but it wasn't when it came out. No, it was, years later when, all apart from Genesis Part 1 and Part 2 were out. and by all I mean the island extinction aberration, the center, hang on, island scorched earth aberration extinction, the center Valguero. I pronounce that wrong half the time, so correct me if I'm wrong. Valguero. Like, I know this is 100% a waste of resources. But guys, this is coming from someone, like, I'm doing this knowing full well it is. But it's not the first time. This way, it gives it a bit of like a slanted roof, but also gives me a flat roof. But yeah, guys, I willingly made a house from like using logs. It took ages. Because I don't know why I wanted to do it. But it's like, yo, why don't I? It'd be cool, interesting, it won't take me that long. It took me I think it took me a couple weeks. Just because annoyingly, I like building, I hate getting resources. But yeah, getting back to the art story. My first house on art, not my exact first, but the first one I completely remember, was essentially like this 3-tier box. Box underneath for dino storage, made it all out of stone. Some pillars, and then another small box where basic stuff was like your fabricators, your smithies, your forges, all that lot, your storage, and then another one on top of that for like sleeping and all that lot, and like essentially a bedroom. And then there was the roof that then had pillars. But yeah, the roof then had pillars. Not pillars. The roof then had railing around the top to corner it off. I could then still get up. Really big safety hazard because the original design, anyone could walk into it. Like, my basement's secure. All you need is a flag to get up onto the roof. And I don't know why. But for some reason, like, I've always been, when it comes to art, flyers must live on the roof. Don't know why. Barely had enough to do that. Oh man, it's broke. That's it. I'm gonna be so annoyed if they don't line up. But yeah, like, anyone can get in from flying because, like, I still don't really, because, like, back then I was new to Ark. It was the first time I was playing on my own world and all like that. The first time I was trying to play serious, and I'd had a world beforehand, but it wasn't great, and it was 100% one of those builds where it's like, yeah, you've not done that legit. Like, for the most part on Ark, because I hate getting resources, because I love building on Ark, getting resources is a pain in the ass. You can go and mine stone for like 2-3 hours. You'll have enough resources. I know for that creep's gonna come. And then be like, oh, okay, there's 3 of them. And then turn out you only have supplies to do about half of what you want to do. But then again, that was one of my first builds, and that was on Survival Evolved, which unfortunately I can no longer build. Like, I can still build the building because it was like not a, it's like it was not like an area specific thing. Like, there wasn't something about the area that was the reason it was what it was. But what I can't do anymore is build in that area. Because, guys, it was kind of in the perfect spot for the island. Basically, not far from the Arctic. I don't know the coordinates, otherwise I would say them. Why the hell does that sound like a whimpering dog? But yeah, so it was like this really nice, stone building. I'm still proud of it today because it's one of my better builds. But it was basically just really flat, and to take it, like, you wouldn't even have to do that much work to take it down. Because what was pointed out to me, it's like, you do realize if someone just came and destroyed those pillars, like, your base would be fucked. It's like, no, I didn't put that into consideration. Should I have? Yeah, why didn't you? Because I didn't. I'm only going to plant a few around here. That's rude. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, so pointing out to me it was, so then I basically reinforced them. By basically just covering them in, like, stone walls. But I can note, like, I've not built that since Survival Evolved, and it was one of my first builds. And for the most part, this is not a 1-to-1 ratio of the roof. Like, the roof isn't 1-to-1 ratio. But get rid of the attic, then it kind of is, except it was all built out of stone. So yeah, so unintentionally I kind of have, other than the roof. Because still to this day, I do personally believe if you're building a house, you need a diner storage. And for the most part, it's raining, great. For the most part, I do try to include storage for dinosaurs. But for the most part, what I tend to do now is just corner off my base. By essentially going, here's 5 ginormous behemoth gates. I'm slightly kidding about the behemoth gates. What I do is put like 2 or 3 up. And then do the more annoying process of going with fence. with railings. And anyone who's played out knows this can be a bit of a challenge, more of an annoyance if anything. All the way around and cover up everything. And then just have my dinosaurs out in the open. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'll never full-on do a full playthrough through Ark on stream or for videos. It wouldn't take... I would get very impatient very quickly. Because I'm the type of person who would rather go and be given the ability of GMC, which is creative, build everything that I want for my base, like my full house, a lot, then need to go mine and get, say, 5 stacks of iron, which would be 500 iron, not iron, metal, and then chuck all that into a volcano for the sin of cheating. Annoyingly, I'm not going to do it. This would kind of be the perfect hole to... Actually saying that, I think that 100% wouldn't be. But say, because it doesn't look as big, but... Yeah, that one hole would be, and it's like, I'm not going to. I 100% should cover them up, but I like seeing them as like nice little death traps. Like, if someone's chasing me, I can just go, whoop. Or, whoop. Land. And they fall into a pit. But yeah, I also need to go and get more oak wood to finish the ceiling beam part of the house. Turns out I had one. It's like, wondered why I wasn't. Like one part is slightly annoying. Jungle trees from a distance, like from here, do not look the same. And why I kind of like the forest there. From here, while it's raining, they kind of look similar. Also, guys, something else I was going to go into, a YouTuber who does hardcore content that I watch called SB737 mentioned the fact that people don't get much done in like their first 100 days. They're either taking it slow or just aren't good at the game, and it's like, it got me thinking, wait, am I not good at the game? Because, like, all I've done is built like a house. But, like, it's going over the fact that people are essentially not doing much, and, like, either they're faking it or, like, a couple of other reasons, but there's not that many. It's like, guys, literally, day counter. It would give it away instantly. Like, granted, this is not hardcore. The reason I won't do hardcore, at least not for a while, I'd get to, like, day, like, 10. Not even that. Imagine if I started this in hardcore. It's like, hey, guys, Tiger is back with a new adventure on hardcore Minecraft. For a good while, I didn't have access to it, and I have played hardcore before now. Didn't survive that long. I instantly got, like, died because my caution, like, I don't consider it a bad thing, but me, when it comes to this game, I don't play cautionate. Like, I'm always the type of person who rushes in. Like, playing Overwatch, I could be on, say, 50 deaths, have, say, 40 kills, but I'd have, like, 50-60 damage. Like, 50-60,000, like, 50 to 60,000 damage. Because of the fact of it. Depending on the character, I will rush in. Which is why what you will notice when I do Overwatch again, because I will. Depending on the character, I do tend to rush in. Like, if I'm playing someone like Brig, she's a tank support, I can rush it. playing someone like Mercy, I'm good at Battle Mercy. Also, yes, I am one of those people who are like, oh my god, why are you only playing Battle Mercy? Like, I don't only play Battle Mercy, I spend 99% of each game I play as Mercy with a staff up someone's ass. Not a joke. The only time I go into Battle Mercy is where it's like, okay, let's start into advance, I've got ult, I'm charging. Because you have a good chance to survive. But then if my team does need healing, I then switch. Also, guys, any of you asking about Quest, it's not coming back. There will be the odd live streams for a while. Basically, before I bring Quest back, I need to get a few simple things. And they're not simple. Well, technically simple, but not cheap. I need to get a new laptop or PC because I need some way to edit. The one I've got isn't great, and I actually want to, put effort into Quest this time. Instead of what I was doing, which was cutting the odd small thing out and just sort of speeding most stuff up. And to do that, at the very least, I need a new computer. Then there's a couple like editing apps that I'll also then need. But yeah, so Quest won't be coming back for a while because again, what I want to get is a decent laptop, which there's one I like, but it's like 300-400 quid. Guys, at this point in time, I'm honest with this. Until I start getting more views, spending money for stuff for YouTube isn't the most practical thing in the world, or more specifically, isn't the easiest thing in the world. But when that comes, I will be investing more money into it, because at that point it's like, okay, I'm getting some money from YouTube, or I'm getting money from doing YouTube, at the very least. I will invest this much back in to get some better equipment. Until then, live streams is basically going to be where it goes. But for all those wanting Quest to come back, I've heard you. Almost specifically, I'm presuming because it was Quest. Not this Wednesday coming up, Wednesday the 11th of June, there will be a channel post about it. Quest will be back. Which technically does mean the last week where I said this week is the only week where, like, these last 2 weeks will be the only 2 weeks, like, for a good while where it's like, there's like Spider-Man like most days. Because it's like the week before it's like, next week I'll start like essentially cutting back and like only doing 2 streams a like week for Spider-Man and the 2 new adventures, which then just make 4 streams a week. But it's like, hold on, wait, I hate odd numbers a lot more than I hate needing to stream a couple more days. Basically, that's the reason I'm like, I don't hate odd numbers, I don't like the fact that they can't be split in half. Which is why 2 does slightly bug me, because it's like, you have 2, then go to 1, but 1's an odd number. So yeah, so next Wednesday, 11th of June, Quest will be back for a stream, going over the world and exploring stuff, and potentially talking about what's going to happen with Quest, because at this point in time, I don't want 100% know. For a couple of reasons it's coming back. I've mentioned before, my birthday is the 11th, and why I probably should have, for the 9-year anniversary of doing YouTube, considering Quest was what started it, brought Quest back. But I didn't, because I had 100% forgot, like, it's like, I'm pretty sure I said in the stream, because I think I was streaming Spider-Man, I think it was Miles Morales I was streaming. Actually, no, it's Spider-Man 2, PS4. And I was like, in the stream, it's like, I've been doing YouTube for like 9 years. Because I did it, and I know at some point I'm going to get flack from Star Wars people for doing this. But like, I started doing YouTube on the 9th of May. Or at least that's when the channel, I don't know whether that's when the channel was created, because I don't think it was, but 2016. It potentially was, but it's like, I don't think so. I don't know when the first video came out. But for simplistic sake, I do just say 4th of May, anniversary of the channel. Which was like... It was almost a month ago. And for that, and basically, to essentially celebrate me coming back doing YouTube more, or at least coming back to doing YouTube, plus essentially celebrate my birthday, I'm basically going to do a stream going through Quest and exploring it, because I've looked around, like, since I've transferred the world to essentially to PS5, I have not looked around, like, I've not gone through almost, like, I've briefly flown over stuff. Like, I've used Creative and briefly flown over stuff. But, like, I've not properly gone and been like, ooh. But like, I've not properly gone through and like gone through everything. So I will be doing that on the 11th of June, which is my birthday. But guys, literal heads up, it will not be a sober stream. Basically, guys, I'm always on about this one. I'm not the biggest fan of birthday or Christmas for reasons that I don't mind going into, but basically, I've had 3 pets, not 3 pets, 3 dogs since being alive. I'm turned 22 next week. So, I've had 3 dogs in the space of 21 years, 22 next week. And I've lost all 3 of them in spaces of close to Christmas and wasn't in the mood to celebrate Christmas the year. And anytime I think about it, that's what I think about. 2 days before my birthday, or a month after. I've mentioned this before, and I did mention this in a mansion episode, which was just something that, like, I did a few episodes in a mansion. Basically, as if I ever do go back to the mansion series, it will just be new. For the simplest reason, the way I transferred Quest was was put onto a realm, and then copying the realm. But because I didn't want to pay for the realms, the version, like, it basically is just Quest, but it's a copy of the world. But for intents and purposes, it is Quest. And done it that way. I don't do the same for a series that I did like 4 or 5 episodes on. The only reason I did it is because Quest... I've almost done the 200 episodes of Quest. So, again, it felt right. So, yeah, it's the reason I did it for Quest. But yeah, the Mansion series just, like, because when I started doing it, like, I took some time off back in July 2020, I think it was, because it's, like, not in the right headspace. I don't want to be doing YouTube right now. I need space. So I took some more time. I said this in the Mention episode, and thanks to everyone back then who was like, dude, we get it, like, hope you're okay and a lot. So thanks to all those messages. Reading nice messages, you'd be surprised how much of a difference it does make. I have said this before, but it does make a difference. Like, all it takes is for one annoying prick, or more specifically, I would call them annoying dick, to be like, you belong in a hole. Like, that's all it ever does take. And people don't ever put into consideration, what if you were in that position? Like, I don't typically like going political when doing YouTube, because I'd rather this be a fun space, especially now, especially when I used to be a bit more of a case of, like, basically any topic not off table for the most part. You ask something I don't want to answer, you're quite simply going to get told, next question, or bugger off, or more specifically, not answering it. So, But yeah, like everyone was nice, and thanks to it because it did help. Known for a fact that like people, that there are some essentially nice people out there. But yeah, so I then stopped doing the Mansion series for a while. I came back. I think I did like 1 or 2 more episodes, and I just haven't because like in 2021, like I think after I did that, I stopped doing YouTube for a while again. Like there was another point where I did stop doing it for a while. I think then like 2021, I'd stopped doing it because guys, back then I was essentially juggling between because it's not back then, but back in like 2019, like I was juggling college, talking to mates, juggling college, having somewhat of a social life, and still trying to perform and get at least a few videos a week that aren't terrible. Which is why I think it was 2021. It might have been 2022, but I believe it was 2021, where I was like, no, I'm not enjoying YouTube. I'm done. And when I said I was done, I meant it. Like, I know for a fact I never said it in the Christmas video, but that last Christmas video, I was like, at the time, like thinking of it now, it's like, yeah, I was 100% done. Like, you've just been filming for the last so many years. I'm done. I think it was like last 5 years, but like I'm done. Like the mindset was like I'm not going to achieve nothing from this. Eventually, I'm going to have to stop anyway because I'm going to actually have to get something that does it money. Now I'm not in the complete mindset. It's the reason like streams come out late at night. But yeah, back then I was just not in the right headspace, and quite frankly, what I should have been like is, guys, I'm taking like 6 months off. But it wasn't just the fact I wasn't in the right headspace. I was no longer enjoying it and no longer enjoying the content I was doing. Like, guys, I'm doing basically the exact same content. My indifference, I've not done a single COD video in years. Like, I've played COD, not streamed or done a video, pardon me, video on it in years. But yeah, streams for next week will quite simply be the 2 new adventures, which I have no idea what they're going to be about. Like, these 2 new adventures episodes have just, like, these last 94 episodes have just been days have been about surviving and trying to achieve something and trying to make sure that I'm not just chucking myself into doing a new series because I'm feeling nostalgic. After 100 days, it's going to be more of a case of, right, okay, where do we go from here? Now, I don't know why, but I kind of, like, because there is still going to be room, but I kind of want to do dark. I'm going to, like, test it. These dark oak stairs. Literally just for them for like 2 seconds. I didn't want to make more if I wasn't gonna like them. Yeah, no, I do. And in the future, if I don't, I can always change them. But yeah, guys, so content for next week will be the 2 new adventures, which should be Monday, Thursday. Spider-Man part, I have no idea because I've lost track. 7, 8 this week. So 9 and 10. Unless through this week I do complete it. I don't think I'm going to. Like, they sound like they're whimpering, and it's like, are you dogs? Are you okay? Do you need help? Do I have more Dark Oak around? Oh. Do I need to cut down another Dark Oak tree? Like, presumably, it's just more of a case of, like, that's jungle. Okay, looks like I'm chopping down a tree. I'm not gonna get the house, like, fully finished. Which we will be getting that done next episode. It's like, I'm looking for my Dark Oak tree, and it's like, where the hell is it? It's right over here. Kind of a small Dark Oak tree. But yeah, so plans will be, if I'm still doing it, 9 and 8 next week. 9 and 10. Basically, guys, if I get through part 8 and there's not, like, much, but enough to get, say, 2 hours out of, I will just split it into 2 hours worth of content. And do some side work in between. Because, quite frankly, I could easy enough just turn around and say, guys, I'm continuing this. I'm like, after I've done these, I'm gonna go back to PS4 and then 100% complete the game. But in all fairness, nobody wants to see it. Like, I can tell you now, views wouldn't complete these up. But it would get to a point where it's like, Plus, I think the best, what I would, at the best, would just quite simply get would be 2 more parts out of each. Like, tempted to do it for Miles, just to sort of, like, pattern that out a little bit. But at the same point, I'd rather not. Like, if for some reason there is literal demand for me going back and, like, I will ask when I complete Spider-Man PS2, the story part of that, I will simply ask, guys, do you not want me to go back and do, like, the last 40%, which seems like a lot, but, like, 60% story-wise, that's 40% of basically nothing. Because all it will be is me going through bases and doing all that. Besides, guys, I think, like, roughly it'd be like 2 parts of the base game. I would try and get 2 parts for each DLC, or at least get them to 4. I'm gonna at least do these. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying I'm at least doing these. It's like, I'm going around with Dark Oak. But yeah, because quite frankly, guys, in that position, I 100% would be like, okay, gonna 100% do these. I will literally show you the 100% complete, and it'd be like, I wouldn't even like lie and deceive it. It'd be like, right, time to show you 100% complete. Tigris, that's not the, like I say, 100% complete. I never said it was going to be 100% complete in another one. Because, guys, the reasons why... Let's say, is there a skeleton up here? The reasons why I don't want to, or don't think it's really needed, Because literally all it is going to each location. Because the way I do it is I knew that dirt block would come in handy at some point. Would be going to each location and going, right, time to cross this off the list. I might put some glass in the middle. Like, part of me kind of wants to do these areas with something different, but part of me's like, no, just stick with what works. Damn it. But yeah, like, literally it'd just be going through each area, be like, right, that area's 100% done, that area's 100% done, that area's 100% done. It'd get very boring and very tedious. And quite frankly, I'm pretty sure at some point someone would be like, dude, why? Besides, I think I'd rather get bullied on Overwatch by every annoying character on the enemy team than need to do that. And by that, guys, I mean a Torbjorn, a Mei, a Symmetra, a Sombra, a Zen and a Moira, like either one. Like no support's really annoying, but like Moira's a sneaky twat at points. No, I prefer it. But yeah, I'd rather get bullied by every annoying character at once on Overwatch. Bear in mind, guys, DPS has like 5 to 10 of them. Torbjorn, Symmetra, Sombra. Pharah's raining down hell from the skies can be annoying as hell at points. Torbjorn, Symmetra, Sombra. Chasers can be annoying. You know what, I'm at least going to get the one layer done. Tracers, Torbjorn, Symmetra, Sombras. Widows. Genji with Deflect. Malgus with his ult. Divas with nuke when they come out of nowhere. Not gonna question why there's a spider on the roof. In all fairness, I don't 100% know whether I am going to stick in the same thing in the middle. Like, I know there's like 3 skeletons inside there that all it's gonna take is one lucky shot. Geronimo! Come on, come on, come on. Yes. So yeah, guys, in the next episode, we will be finishing the roof. And potentially jumping off it for the first time. But we won't just be finishing the roof, we will also be finishing, and well, starting probably, to make the swimming pool. I know roughly where I want it. I want like a nice one, like say just around say the back, but I also want to kind of corner off the back area. And just have it as like, a sort of like a nice backyard swimming pool. We will also in a future episode be going netherite mining. That depending on how much because before I go netherite mining I would need to get diamonds. And before I get diamonds I need to actually go mining. And I don't want to go mining yet because it's literally just gonna be me going oh look, diamonds, oh look, some gold. I'm hoping what I was just saying wasn't like wasn't copyright, because if it says, sorry. But yeah, it's literally just going to be that, so I'll literally just do it off stream next week. But yeah, guys, this is Tiger signing off. Hope you enjoyed. See you later. Bye.